Okay, I've got the Hitachi router, the TR12. In it I've put the 1-inch router piece, straight router piece. I've made one cut already and I'm going to make another one. Okay, the noise will be terrible, but we'll cut that out. So what I've just done, I've just cut the second track going into the workshop. Alright, totally hidden at the moment, but with the taking it out a bit, you can see the track quite clearly appearing. Okay, the router bit was set before on the number of test pieces of wood, on the number of tracks to get the required depth. And since then the system was all locked in. So that's what we've done at the moment. I'm now going to continue and do the whole lot and show you some photos later about that. Okay, back inside. The job is done. The gullies or channels for the rails have been cut, including the bits for the points, and over here I've actually laid passes of rails already in there just to show you how it sits. And as you can see, that's at street height. Well, this is the train rails is actually on top of it, so we are looking at street height. You can see in the background, you can see the train rails, but it's very hard to see the rails for the trams. So now what I need to do is to just take the 1 meter flexible rail and cut off those little side bits. As you see in the rails, the side bit is quite wide. Here we've had to cut them down so we can actually fit it into the channel. Now that the channels are done and the points are in, I'm just going to put the rails into the grooves. The sides have been cut to size, so this is how it's going to be. It should fit in quite easily. And never dusted it. A tight fit in this case is better than a loose fit. Right, that is in, however it is not quite fitting at the end, so I very carefully, near the point we don't have an exact fit, so I very gently cut the rails from this side. It is the 14th of June, just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and after some initial fast circuits we've now got the tram running trial run at a slower speed, a more tram-like speed. Okay. So we're in a trial run. Not all of the track is finished. Right there is still some missing, but we are pretty much into what we want to do. Now I know it's a bit like putting the dessert before the meal. Okay, but what I want to do today is to show you how I actually go about filling it in. So I've got some Sally's spec filler in that ice cream container with a spatula and some water, and I'll mix that in. I'll show you what the paste is like. Now, as you will see, it's a fairly smooth sort of paste, fairly thick, but it is fairly consistent. Okay, I want it thick, not the thin paste that drips off. It's a fairly consistent, smooth paste. And of course, using the Sally spec filler, you can also use any of the other products, as long as it's sort of an internal, non-shrinking filler for doors or walls. Alright, going to apply it now. Okay. 2 previous efforts recording have failed to work, so I'm going to try it again, hoping that this one works. And with a spatula we just spread the paste in between and slightly over the rails, keeping the inside of it nice and smooth. Everything that is outside the rails is not a problem, because that can be later removed by sanding it and cleaning it up. It's inside the rail that's important. We've done that now, and later I'm just going to gauge out the grooves for the wheels. I'll show you that a little bit later. Right, the next step is to take a screwdriver and just gauge the inside of the rails to create the basic space for the wheels. Then we do the same on the other side. I prefer to do it that way, always dragging it towards me. Now that it's dried a bit, the next job is to sand it down to the level of the ground plate. Now, of course, I'm not going to show that for very long because the dust will get into the camera, and that's not what I want. But basically, a piece of wood, piece of sandpaper. I'll show the full result in a little while. Nice and smooth. Okay. The surface is nice and smooth. And you see the grooves are big as well now. Here and there, this is extremely important, the top of the rails is not visible. And that is something that needs to be done for the tram to run well. So it requires a little bit more sanding and cleaning. And here and there the track needs a bit of cleaning out too.